Jamaica News in Review. Hanover man charged following 2023 shooting. A 26-year-old man from Hanover was slapped with several charges after a man was shot in Brissett District, Lucy, in the parish on Sunday, October 29, 2023. He is Stephen Blake, otherwise called Braff, a laborer of Macquarie District, Hopewell. Blake was charged with wounding with intent, shooting with intent, unauthorized possession of a prohibited weapon, possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. Reports from the Lucy police are that about 9:05 p.m., a man was driving his motor car along the roadway when a white Toyota Axia drove up and a man opened gunfire at him. When the shooting subsided, the man was seen suffering from gunshot wounds. He was assisted to hospital where he was treated. On Friday, January 19, Blake was arrested and subsequently charged after a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. His court date is being finalized. Security guard killed in Broadgate, St. Mary. A 34-year-old female security guard was shot and killed early Saturday night in an apparent home invasion. Police say the victim, Jody Buchanan, was alone at a two-bedroom house she shared with her father when a lone masked gunman reported they entered the house through a back door. The gunman allegedly opened fire at Buchanan, killing her on the spot before making his escape. The police were called and the deceased was reportedly found lying on her back in her bed with several gunshot wounds to her upper body. No motive for the killing has been established. The St. Mary Criminal Investigative Bureau are investigating. Man found with throat slash in Clarendon. A man was found with his throat slashed in Rocky Point, Clarendon on Saturday. According to reports, police were alerted to the scene after residents reportedly heard a loud commotion at the Bubble Vibes bar at about 11:50 p.m. A man who has been identified as Aubrey Robertson was later observed near the entrance of the establishment with his throat slashed. The man's grey Toyota car was parked a few meters from the scene. Saturday's incident is the first homicide recorded in the parish since the start of the year. NCU facing new challenges. Mandeville-based Northern Caribbean University NCU has concluded that the recent opening Maypen to Williamsfield Highway is driving some students and workers away from the institution. The university's president, Professor Linton Edwards, says many landlords have increased their rent prices because of the highway, which reduces the travel time from Manchester to Kingston. Professor Edwards says some students and workers have told them that the price for rent has increased by 50%. He says NCU is seeking to purchase lands to build houses for students and workers that will make rent prices more affordable. Professor Edwards also noted that the government's recent public sector compensation adjustments has made it difficult for private institutions like NCU to retain lecturers who are now being enticed by more attractive salaries in the state-run colleges and universities. Opposition alarm at decision to interdict NEPA officer. The parliamentary opposition has expressed shock over the decision of the National Environment and Planning Agency NEPA to interdict its officer who first breaches at the controversial Charlie Mont Drive apartment complex. The individual was indicted last week. According to leaked document, the officer who was sent on interdiction on January 17 pending further investigations is accused of bringing NEPA into disrepute and inefficient work performance in that he failed to carry out established enforcement procedures in regards to monitoring the development. In an interview, opposition spokesman on Finance and Public Service Julian Robinson said he was baffled by the decision of NEPA. He said the officer who alerted NEPA of the alleged breach should not be facing disciplinary action for doing his job. He urged NEPA to tell the country how it arrived at that decision. The Charlemont Drive development is owned by President of the National Water Commission Mark Barnett and his wife, Annette Francis Barnett. The couple escaped prosecution for breaching the environmental permit for their development at the time, as it has expired by the time action was initiated. Trelawney man killed after his car overturned on the Hyde Main Road. The Trelawney police have recorded the first road fatality since the start of the year, when a man died as a result of injuries he sustained when the motor car he was driving overturned in the parish Saturday evening. The deceased has been identified as 39-year-old Andrew Brown, a truck driver of a Falmouth Trelawney address. According to the Corporate Communications Unit, Brown was driving a Toyota motor vehicle along the Hyde Main Road in Trelawney at about 6 p.m. when he lost control of the vehicle, which overturned and ran over a ditch. Brown sustained multiple injuries and died on the spot. The Falmouth police are investigating. The Trelawney Police Division recorded 21 road fatalities in 2023. 3 teenagers among 5 persons arrested on gun armor charges in St. Catherine. 5 persons, including 3 teenagers, are in custody facing criminal charges following the seizure of 3 illegal guns during a police operation in Old Harbour, St. Catherine Sunday morning. More than 30 rounds of ammunition were also seized. Senior Superintendent Christopher Phillips, commanding officer for the St. Catherine South Police, told reporters that the suspects were nabbed after the police responded to reports of gunfire in the vicinity of Old Harbour. They were captured during a police spot check in nearby New Harbour Village. There were 6 persons in the vehicle that was intercepted by the police team, but one of them, a man, escaped, Superintendent Phillips explained. He said the car was searched and the guns and ammunition were found, arising from which he said 5 persons were arrested. Among the 5 detained, 2 are 15 years old and 1 is 17. The other 2 are a 33-year-old businesswoman from New Harbour Village and a 27-year-old fisherman from Old Harbour Bay. Superintendent Phillips said a total of 5 illegal guns were seized in the division over the weekend. National security face-off. Chang dismisses Bunting's criticism. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has responded strongly to comments from his opposition counterpart, Senator Peter Bunting, criticizing his handling of the portfolio. Mr. Bunting, speaking at a People's National Party meeting on January 14, accused the government of failing to implement measures to curb crime. He also pointed to an inefficient allocation of resources to the police. But in his response to comments, Dr. Chang accused Mr. Bunting of seeking to politicize the issue of crime. He also took issue with Mr. Bunting's persistent stand of not supporting the imposition of states of emergency. He also claimed there was a significant decline in budgetary allocation to the police over the period 2011 to 2014 under the PNP, added that since then, the Andrew Holness-led administration has made significant investment in resources to the police, citing upcoming construction projects for police stations. Dr. Chang was speaking Friday at a handing over ceremony for the 30 L200 pickup of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. The vehicles are valued at approximately $230 million. PNP Womens Movement condemns killing of Melissa Silvera. The People's National Party Women's Movement has declared condemnation in the strongest terms of the tragic murder of Melissa Silvera, while also acknowledging the charge laid against her husband, Jolene Silvera, on Friday. Mr. Silvera, a former member of Parliament, is to appear in court next week. Patricia Duncan Sutherland, president of the PNP Women's Movement, says the nation has been rocked with shock and concern as circumstances surrounding Mrs. Silvera's death have been brought to light over the last month. She says the details have had a devastating impact on the People's National Party, as well as the families of the victim and accused. Mrs. Duncan Sutherland says incidents such as this bring to the fore the threats to safety and security of women and children in the society, and that it is important to bring perpetrators of violence to justice. It was initially reported that Mrs. Silvera died in her sleep on November 10, but a post-mortem later revealed the presence of bullet fragments in her body. Clarendon men charged in relation to kidnapping incident. The Clarendon police say they have laid charges against 2 men in connection with a kidnapping incident in Palmer's Crossing, the parish, on Sunday, January 14. 31-year-old labourer Philip Robinson, otherwise called Sean, and 21-year-old farmer Ashman Gallimore, both of Rectory Road, Clarendon, have been charged with kidnapping at common law, robbery with aggravation, and wounding with intent. Reports from the Maypen police are that about 2:15 p.m., a man boarded a taxi with the driver and a passenger on board. On reaching his destination, he reportedly asked to be let off. However, the driver allegedly refused to stop. The passenger reportedly brandished a machete and robbed the man of his Samsung Galaxy A13 cell phone, valued at $25,000 and $10,000 cash. The man was subsequently taken to a section of River Heights, also in the parish, where he was beaten and threatened. He managed to escape his attackers, but reportedly sustained chops in the process. The man later reported the incident to the police and was assisted to hospital, where he was treated. Robinson and Gallimore were taken into custody the following day after an investigation. Charges were filed against them on Friday, January 19, after an identification parade. They are scheduled to appear in the Maple Parish Court on Thursday, January 25th. Satan facing robbery extortion charges. Multiple charges have been laid against 33-year-old Karen Daly, otherwise called Satan or Iron, a loaderman of Thompson Pen, Beacon Hill in St. Catherine. The charges reportedly stemmed from an incident on Burke Road, Spanish Town on Saturday, December 16, 2023. It is alleged that Daly and another man, who were having a heated argument when the accused used a ratchet knife to stab the complainant before allegedly slashing the two front tires of his Toyota Wish motor car and stealing Jamaican $30,000 from the vehicle. Daly was arrested and charged with robbery with aggravation, extortion, assault at common law, malicious destruction of property, and being armed with an offensive weapon. His court date is being finalized. Former PNP council aspirant freed of assault charges. St. Elizabeth school teacher and former People's National Party PNP aspirant for the Lakova Division, O'Shane Gale, was freed of an assault charge on Monday. The charge stemmed from the alleged board beating of his then pregnant spouse last October. Gale, represented by attorney at law Thomas Levine, appeared in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court in Santa Cruz. Levine told reporters that his client was acquitted after the complainant, Gale's ex-spouse and the mother of his first child, expressed no further interest in the case. The complainant, with whom he was involved in a relationship, indicated through her attorney that she had no further interest in the case and that she has reconciled her differences with Mr. Gale. Mr. Gale was arrested and charged in 2023 following an incident at her home, and he has maintained his innocence since then, stated Levine. Subsequently, she gave birth to a child, and all three attended court together. Mr. Gale, a teacher at Magate High School in the parish of St. Elizabeth, expressed his gratitude at the outcome and is looking forward to bonding with his first child. As for his political future, Mr. Gale remains a committed supporter of the People's National Party and looks forward to serving in whatever capacity the party deems fit, Levine added. The complainant was represented by Shane Morgan and Cherise Cummins. In October 2023, the PNP moved swiftly to sever ties with Gale after he was allegedly charged with assault. At the time, the teacher was selected to represent the party in the Lakova Division of St. Elizabeth Northwestern in the upcoming local general election. St. James wanted man linked to murders and shootings charged. Detectives from the Criminal Investigations Branch have charged a suspect who have been linked to multiple cases of shooting and murders in St. James. The man, 47-year-old Nigel Bailey, otherwise called Bad Ross, of Brickasset, St. James, was listed as one of the most wanted fugitives for the parish. Bailey was captured on January 4 after 4 years on the run. Reporters were informed by a senior commander that Bailey, who is under investigation for at least 20 murders, has so far been charged for the murder of 42-year-old Kemar Henry, otherwise called Brookie, of Brixton Anchovy, and 41-year-old Owen Morris, otherwise called Orit. Henry was shot dead on December 10 last year at a bar in Brickasset, while Morris, a chef, was fatally shot on Tonk Road, Cambridge in October last year. Bailey, who fled St. James during a major police manhunt, was captured by the St. Catherine police. He was charged Monday after warrants were served on him by the St. James police. The police say Bailey is a former member of a notorious gang in St. James. 3 alleged goat thieves arrested in Manchester. 3 men have been arrested following a high-speed chase, which led to the recovery of a goat believed to have been stolen in Newport, Manchester on Tuesday. Sub-officer in charge of operations in Manchester, Inspector Simon McCormack, says the men were held by a patrol team about midday. The sub-officer in charge of operations for Manchester stated that one of the men is known to the police. Meanwhile, the inspector is appealing to farmers in the Newport area to be vigilant. He is hoping that the incident will act as a warning to predatory larcenies.
The police were on patrol in the Tower Street area of Newport when a silver Toyota Axion was spotted. Withdrew the suspicion of the police. The car was chased and stopped. 3 men alighted from that vehicle. Upon subsequent search of the vehicle, 1 ram goat was found in the vehicle.
Cop charged with grievous sexual assault of 14-year-old girl. A policeman has been arrested and charged following allegations that he had sexual relations with a 14-year-old girl in Trelawney. The cop, 44-year-old Dwayne Brown from the parish, was charged on Monday following a ruling from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. Brown is charged with 5 counts of sexual intercourse with a person under 16 and 5 counts of grievous sexual assault. Information reaching reporters is that Brown was accused of being involved in an intimate relationship with the child, during which they had sexual intercourse on several occasions. The last time was said to be on February 18, 2022. Reports indicated that in March 2023, the child's mother reportedly went through her phone and saw several messages of sexual nature between her and the policeman. A report was made to the police, and the child was medically examined at the Falmouth Hospital. A file was prepared and sent to the office of the DPP, and a ruling was made for the accused to be charged. American woman tries to disarm cop at Sangster Airport taken to hospital for psychiatric evaluation. Police have taken an American woman to the Conroe Regional Hospital for psychiatric evaluation after she stripped naked and attempted to disarm a cop who tried to subdue her at the Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay, St. James. Reports from the St. James Police are that about 11 a.m. Tuesday, the female passenger was about to check out when she stripped naked and got into a physical confrontation with her friend. A member of the Jamaica Constable Force intervened and was attempting to restrain her when she tried to disarm him. She was eventually restrained and taken to hospital. The incident, which was captured on video, has since gone viral on social media. Hotel chef killed in Hanover gun attack. A chef at a popular hotel in Hanover was shot and killed by gunmen on Norman Manor Boulevard near the resort on Monday night. He has been identified as 48-year-old Ron Simpson, otherwise called Tyson, from Cave District in Westmoreland. Reports reaching reporters are that around 10:20 p.m., Simpson had just finished working and had gone outside the hotel, where he reportedly moved his private motor vehicle closer to the resort main entrance. Police said Simpson exited the vehicle and stood outside, waiting on a fellow employee when 2 men alighted from a white Toyota Axio motor car, which was parked nearby. One of the men opened gunfire, hitting Simpson multiple times before fleeing the scene in the said Axio. The police were summoned, and on their arrival, Simpson was found lying on his back with gunshot wounds to the upper body. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. No motive has been established for the attack. 41 vehicles found in St. Mary as police uncover major car stealing ring. Police in St. Mary said that up to 41 stolen vehicles were found over the weekend as part of a high-level probe into a major car stealing ring in the parish. Reporters understand that the Stolen Motor Vehicles Unit and the Criminal Investigations Branch have been engaged to investigate the case. Head of the St. Mary Police Superintendent Bobette Morgan Simpson said that the ring was uncovered after a report was made about one of the missing cars. She said when the vehicle was tracked, the police were led to a site in a common community where 28 other vehicles were found, most of which were scrapped. It so happens that an Axio was stolen in the Arcabesa area and a Mark X was stolen in the Three Hill area. It so happens that the owner of the Axio had a tracking device on the vehicle, so he tracked the vehicle and it led to an area called Como. The police accompanied him to the location and the Axio was found as well as the Mark X. The police said that there were 28 vehicles at one location that were scrapped and there were mostly Axios and other varieties of vehicles there, she stated. She said further investigations led to another location in Rocky Hill in the parish where 13 other vehicles were found. A further search led us to another location in Rocky Hill where we also saw 13 other vehicles, mainly Axio, and we saw a number of license plates. From our indications, those vehicles were not really old. It's very sad that the persons are investing, spending hard-earned money, borrowing and buying their vehicles, and there are just some people out there waiting to take it away from them, she said. Superintendent Morgan Simpson is urging motor vehicle owners to be vigilant and install tracking devices. If it wasn't for the tracking device on this vehicle, it is highly unlikely that it would have been found, but because of that piece of technology, the vehicle was recovered and in the process, another vehicle that was stolen was recovered. And we stumbled upon what is evidently a very high stolen motor vehicle ring, she stated. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.